What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So, we finally got the Devstream today with AoE nerf information, Veilbreaker launch information, and pretty much like what the situation is going to be going forward with this new update that DE was calling Endgame before it came out. I can safely say, after watching the Devstream, that I am actually looking forward to this update, and I think that DE did a very good job designing this update. And yeah, I'm actually relatively happy with what I've seen. So we'll be going over a bunch of stuff today. We're going over AoE nerfs, Wukong nerf, Veilbreaker situation. I'll be briefly showing stuff about Styanax, but we'll do a full Styanax video tomorrow. We're going to go over all of his abilities with their live gameplay footage to show what all his abilities do and go in depth on what kind of build you should be looking for and things you should be modding for on Styanax on the first day. Before we get into it, though, make sure you're subbed to this channel. Make sure the live channel as well. We did live stream all my reactions on the live stream channel. By the way, once this update's coming out in September, so we're going to start the information now. So, Veilbreaker is coming out in September. For the first 2 weeks that Veilbreaker is available, we don't have an exact release date, the new frame Styanax will be available for free. That's him on the right there, and that's in celebration of him being the 50th Warframe. If you don't sign in for those 2 weeks and get Styanax for free, you will have to farm him from the Veilbreaker new syndicate if you don't get him. So just keep that in mind. If you want Styanax, whose abilities weren't really going over today, you can get him for free for signing in September during this update. All right, let's start off with the stuff that you probably are here for. What's happening with AoE getting nerfed? I'm going to tell you right now that it's a complicated situation. Now, first off, we're getting basically part one of the AoE nerf is kind of how I'm viewing it. What they will be doing in the AoE nerf part one is they will be making it where Prime Firestorm is reduced stats. Currently, it's 63% on the live build, and it's going down to 44%. Also, Prime Fulmination is also being reduced in size as well. So, the radius of explosive weapons will be reduced if you're using Prime Firestorm. If you don't use Prime Firestorm, the AoE is not being changed at all. So, that is what you have there. Additionally, they're going to be making it where ammo is going to be more of an issue for the AoE weapons. We didn't get too much information on that, but they said there's some unknown, there's some type of change coming to ammo mutation mods, and they're making it where there's no longer like shotgun, like rifle, sniper ammo. It's only going to be primary ammo and secondary ammo. So, not exactly sure what's happening there, but do keep in mind there is an item in this game that you can use called ammo restore pads. So I've actually built like 1,000 of those today. Squad ammo restore pads will give you basically full ammo, and they should work for your rocket launchers and stuff too. So that's as far as what we know they're nerfing so far. They're going to be nerfing the ammo, and they're nerfing the AoE mod increased Prime Firestorm. Additionally, AoE weapons, including the Ignis Wraith apparently, are no longer going to have the headshot multipliers. That's what they said, and I'm like, okay, well, the Ignis Wraith isn't really AoE. It kind of is technically because Prime Firestorm does work on the radius of it, and they said no flamethrower headshots, so that's what you're going to have to deal with. Keep in mind that things like Primary Deadhead should still give you a headshot multiplier, even though they have no headshot multiplier, because Primary Deadhead increases the headshot multiplier, I believe, additively. So, yeah, that's how you can circumvent that. But yeah, I really don't think there will be any change here, as long as you are using ammo pads. And I mean, the only thing that you'll really notice is that if you're using Prime Firestorm, it's a smaller radius of explosion. So, but here's the problem, guys. They said that this is part one. If people keep complaining that AoE is annoying, they said there will be a part two. And for part two of the AoE nerfs, everything is on the table. This might sound scary the way I'm saying it, but this is pretty much how he was saying it on stream. If this is not enough, the next things they are looking to do, they're potentially making it where Prime Sure-Footed will knock you over while you're using AoE, or they're going to make it where it does not go through walls. Line of sight will be added to AoE weapons. So that is not being added currently, but that is on the table if DE thinks it's still a problem. Additionally, they are going to make it where basically primary kills don't drop primary ammo, secondary kills don't drop secondary ammo. That's another way they could do it. I think that's just a good idea in general, just make us switch weapons. But yeah, so currently AoE nerf will not be that big. They're not nerfing any abilities or anything like that. It's pretty tame, but expect those same guys complaining about AoE being annoying, they're going to complain that AoE is annoying again, even after the nerf, and they will do the part 2 nerf. So I'm expecting a massive nerf, probably in like the next 6 months for AoE. We'll get this tame one in September. Prime Firestorm, like, you know, took a bullet for us. And yeah, moving on. So, got some positive news here. This is something I was very happy about. We are getting Steel Path Fissures. And the way they're going to work is you can only open one relic at a time, so no double relics, but every relic you open will contain one Steel Essence. And the way they have it on there makes it look like it's not going to be affected by a booster. Additionally, Acolytes will spawn in these Steel Path Fissures. So if you see on the screen right now, they have Kuva Survival Requiem Steel Path version. So that would mean you'll be getting Kuva from the relics, Kuva from the towers, you'll be getting Steel Essence from every relic, and Steel Essence from every Acolyte. Not to mention all the traces and things like that. So this is great. It will, you know, kind of fracture the player base in matchmaking. But the way I look at it is that those guys complaining about AoE, they can go play with all the other level 5 players that don't want to use AoE weapons in their level 5 mission. And all the players that want to use the meta stuff, they can go into the Steel Path Fissure. I think this is actually great. Maybe no one will ever complain about AoE again because all the non-min-max players will be in public matchmaking with the other non-min-max players. I'm not in the Steel Path. So, long overdue. I'm pretty happy about this. And this is step one of getting all these endgame missions in here. I wouldn't call this endgame, but it's just really, really nice. I don't want to fight a level 5 enemy ever again, and here we go. The lowest level fissure we have here is level 114, so good stuff there. All right, moving on to the main focus of Veilbreaker. One of the main focuses of Veilbreaker. It's going to be the Archon sorties. These are going to be... that's what DE referred to it as endgame. I'm going to go along with DE and call this endgame. These are the new sortie tiers. Now, I know it only says level 130 to 150 on here, but remember that sortie modifiers actually are applied with increasing the enemy's armor and health. So, as far as rewards here, this will be a once-a-week extra sortie with a special reward. You might see that guaranteed reward on the left there saying Azure Archon Shard. We are going to go over what this new loot type is in a few moments here, but the way you could look at this is basically a weekly arbitration sortie, I guess I'd call it. If you look right here, we got increased power strength for Ivara, 500 extra health, and increased damage for Amprax, Karuda, or Tipido. There are also additional models. You can really view it as a sortie arbitration. There is no respawning. The only way you can respawn is if another player revives you. There is going to be no summonable enemies. So Hoba is not allowed in this mission, probably for the best. And let's not talk about Hoba anymore here, because I don't want DE to remember he exists. So once you do this, you're going to be... this is a mission that will rotate weekly, and the way you'll get access to... You need to do a mini call mission. Once you beat the call mission, you'll get access to this this secondary sortie. So, as it says right there, Azure Archon Shard. This is going to be a new endgame loot system. Brace yourself for actually something really cool. It's pretty much what I recommended in a video. So, this new system right here is going to be added to the Helminth, and you're going to have 5 Arcane Shard slots on your frame. There are 3 different types of Archon Shards, and there is like upgraded versions of those 3 different versions of the shards. There is Blue Shards. Blue Shards will give you defensive stats. If you look on the screen right here, and you get to choose one of these as a permanent upgrade until you take the shard off. So you get options of 150 health, 150 shield, 50 energy max, 150 armor, or 5 health regen per second. Now, like I said, there is a upgraded version of these shards that are available from a 20% drop rate once per week. As this is a weekly sword, you get 1 chance of this, as far as I can tell. They said there might be some more Archon Shards in the Call Syndicate store, but we don't really have anything to go off of there yet, so I'm just going to go with what we have right now. But here is the Tau Forged Azure Archon Shard. It's the same stat options, but higher numbers. As we can see on the left here, instead of it being 150 health, it's now 225 health. Or, instead of 50 energy, 75 energy, or 225 armor, so on and so forth. So, you could have 5 of these shards in at the same time. And they said that the blue one's defensive stats, the yellow one is going to be quality of life stats, like more energy from orbs and stuff like that, and the red one will be offensive stats. So I'm hoping power strength and like power range, but we have not seen all the options of the yellow or the red yet, so we don't exactly know what's going on there, guys. But if you look at it, what we have to go off of right now, if you were to get the RNG more rare version that's just stronger, period, Tau Forge, if you got, let's say you got 5 Tau Forged crystals, you could pick health regen and stack that 5 times in the same build. That's like nearly 40 health regen per second without a single mod on your build. Additionally, if you wanted to, like, if you're playing a Naros, 5 plus 225 health shards on here, gonna give you another like 1,000 health. So this is nice, and if you want to remove these shards and put it onto another frame, it's gonna cost some Helminth resources to remove it and put it on another frame. So this will let you customize things, and they're permanent upgrades in a sense, but they're not too permanent you can't remove it. So if you feel like, okay, I put this health shard on Protea, I'm getting sick of Protea, I'm not playing Protea that much anymore, you could pull that shard off and put it on the frame you're playing most of the time. So what most players are going to do, and by the way, this is very, very bottleneck, so don't expect to get a full like Archon Shard set anytime soon. This will take you months to get, if these aren't tradable. If they're not tradable, it's going to be something that's a long-term goal. Don't expect to get this anytime soon, especially if you want the Tau Forged rare version. Like I said, 20% chance, and you get one pull of this lever per week. If they're not tradable, there's actually no realistic way you would ever get 5 Tau Shards. So keep that in mind. But let's just say you are going to go with the basic crystals, because that's all you get access to guaranteed. Still going to take you 5 months, or I guess 15 weeks, since there's 3 different Archons and they rotate weekly. You want to get 5 blue crystals, that's 5 rotations you have to wait through. So, and I hope that some of them are Tau Forged, or you're going to be wasting even more weeks trying to get this eventually. So this is definitely a long-term grind. It's something that's pretty cool. It lets you customize your frame. I'm relatively happy with it. And yeah, I'm wondering if it'll be tradable or not. I didn't hear them say if it was tradable or anything like that on the stream. But if they are, and also I'm wondering if there's any way you can work towards the Tau Forged version. If the Tau Forged is just straight up better, like strictly better than a normal version, it's going to feel bad every time you get a normal version after you've already gotten the 5 crystals you need to be overcapped. So I'm wondering if like maybe they'll eventually be like, okay, you can sacrifice 5 normal Archon Shards for 1 Tau Forged Archon Shard, so you can actually work towards something, because this system is just, it's just hoping you get lucky. Hoping you get lucky on a 1 week, like a 1 lever pull a week kind of timer. I don't know. I feel like people might kind of resent that pretty quickly. So nonetheless, pretty interesting situation here. This Archon Sortie, I'm guessing, is going to be hard. This is balanced for like 4 players. They're trying to push the challenge of the game to its limit, is what they were saying. So this is not a raid. They said raids are probably coming next year. But yeah, that's pretty much what you have right there. And as far as Call gameplay, you will play as Call to get access to this mission. You won't play as Call in this mission. Additionally, you will be able to color customize Call, like put like different armor on him. Make him pink if you feel like it. And yeah, let me just go over my my notes list here in case I forgot anything. So about the AoE nerf, Pablo did say that 47% of the weapon usage in this game is AoE weapons, which is probably why they're being a little bit like, held back on how much they're nerfing it. Additionally, some little things here. Mag is getting a small rework. Looks like she's a lot better. The pole ability from Mag is getting a massive buff, and the Helminth version of it is getting nerfed because it's getting that buffed. Volt Shield is getting buffed to no longer drain as much energy when you move around with it. Also, you can for some reason, Volt Shield used to make you forced to use secondaries before. Now you can use primaries with Volt Shield while you're carrying it around. That's a really nice Volt buff right there, so keep an eye on him. There's massive quality of life changes coming to syndicates. No longer will need to run a syndicate sigil, I think they're called. Those ugly things. Now you'll be able to just click the button, pledge to the syndicate, and you can use whatever customization you want. So that is man, I was actually thinking this. I've been playing this game for a long time, guys. I was playing the day that syndicates were added, and I wanted this change since the day syndicates were added. So here we are, like 6-7 years later, and I'm like, oh hey, they finally added it. So that's a very nice quality of life change right there. And like I'm guessing that whatever rank you're at, you'll get like increased rep. I don't even care if I get like 10% less rep. As long as I don't have to wear that sigil ever again, I'm happy. So that's gonna be it for the video. Styanax, his abilities look pretty good. But yeah, I'm just wondering. I'm wondering, like, is this once per week kind of thing gonna keep players interested? Because if you only sign on once per week to do your weekly sortie, is that really you getting engaged with the game, like getting excited about the game? Because like, I don't know. If it's the only place you can get these from is from this new sortie, and like who knows how many people how many crystals will be in the call store. If there's too many in the call store, it can either it might ruin the grinder. It's like I got all these crystals so quickly, I have nothing to farm for anymore. Or it'll be the inverse. You guys are way too stingy with these crystals. I've been farming this for 5 months. I haven't gotten a single Tau forged. So we'll see. I'm excited either way. I definitely was enjoying that that Devstream today, and Steel Path Fissures are really cool too. So yeah, look out for the Styanax video coming up tomorrow, going over all his abilities and what you should probably mod him for and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Let me know how you felt about this down below. Like, I know like the Archon Shards thing is a similar idea to what I had before. It's not as specific, but we also still haven't seen the yellow or the red crystals what they do. So I'm still really excited, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.